Jill, so a 21-0 lead for Oregon at the half. And Anthony, the defense really was the story for Oregon in the first half. Yes, Justin Herbert threw 3 touchdowns, but pitching a shutout and holding Montana to fewer than 100 yards.
I like the activity of Oregon's defense. They've been doing a nice job of collapsing the pocket around Dalton Snead, the Montana quarterback. Haven't been using a lot of finesse rushes to open up running lanes for him, because Snead last season was not only, of course, their leading passer, leading runner as well for the Grizzlies. So they've been very mindful of making sure they don't allow him to take off and hurt them by extending the play.
Camden Lewis will kick off. And Montana, with Malik Flowers a couple of yards deep, will bring it out. Flowers gets across the 20, and he's brought down by Hockey Woods. And Montana will have the ball first here in the second half. And here's some of that defense from the first half.
Well, we've seen them utilizing Troy Dye at the second level and in the opposing backfield. Jordan Scott and his teammates have been living in the backfield of the Grizzlies as well. And in doing that, it's made the job of the secondary that much easier. So passing attack has been really effective for Montana this season, but by Oregon forcing them to be more one-dimensional, and allows that secondary to really focus on shutting down the receivers.
In the first half, Montana rushed for only 13 yards, and this is a group in Montana's offense. They're 7th in the FCS. They averaged 520 yards per game through their first 2 contests. Wrapped up and dropped is Marcus Knight by Isaac Slade Matautia. And here are the first half stats. And again, Oregon keeping Montana to fewer than 100 yards.
So Montana offense, through their first couple of tough games they've had at the FCS level this season, they ran the ball much better in week 2 than in week 1. Coming into Autzen, though, it's a whole different animal with this Oregon defense.
Week 1, Montana winning at South Dakota 31-17. And then last week, they trailed North Alabama 17-16 at the half before they erupted to outscore the Lions 45-0 after halftime. Dalton Snead, the pass complete. And it goes to Samuel Akem, brought down by Mikhail Wright, the true freshman corner for Oregon. And he's in there when Thomas Graham got dinged up there late in the first half.
I believe Samuel Akem is going to need to be a player that Dalton Snead takes a couple of chances towards in this half. 6'4", got a really long frame and great ball skills.
Third down. In motion goes Jerry Louis McGee. And the pass, it's complete. First down, Montana. Russell down near the 40 is Akem. 14 yards from Snead to Akem.
This will be the balance of being able to tell what the approach will be here for Montana. How aggressive will they get? The aggression not only with Snead's willingness to throw it to contested areas with the football, but perhaps locating moments to utilize tempo.
In that second half against North Alabama last week, Montana outgained North Alabama 304-66. Marcus Knight ran for 3 touchdowns last week. As Snead throwing, and it's broken up and nearly intercepted. Verone McKinley diving in. The redshirt freshman got his hands on it as Snead tried to force that into Jerry Louis McGee.
McKinley's been active throughout the game. He can cover both up the hash as a nickel defender like he's doing here. He can also be lined up towards the outside, certain personnel groupings. He comes up with that play. It's a great opportunity for field position. Couldn't quite make it.
Second down and 10 for the Grizz. Just underway, second half. Montana tonight facing their second highest ranked foe at the FBS level. Through the hands and complete. Bryson Deming could not secure a third down. As a couple of years ago, Montana went to Seattle and battled Chris Peterson's 7th-ranked Huskies. That didn't go so well for Montana. 63-7 they lost. They also faced, Anthony, in 2006, a number 16 Iowa Hawkeyes team.
How'd that go for them? Not so well either.
A little bit better, but not much. 3rd and 10. Last time they beat an FBS team, it's a little bit of a trick question because it was Idaho, who's no longer an FBS. They've dropped to the FCS level and are in the Big Sky. As a pass complete near midfield, again, it's Samuel Akem. And dragging defender with him, and he may have enough It's across midfield. The marker is at the Oregon 49 and maybe just short.
And now that they're at midfield, this really feels like space of the field. We see Montana start to get tricky.
4th and less than a yard. On the ground, Marcus Knight has enough. First down, Grizz. He gets knocked backward after forward progress gets him to about the 48. Troy Dye in there for the Ducks.
I'm surprised Montana's not getting right back over the ball. Trying to throw a little bit of tempo with this Oregon defense.
Dalton Sneed down the sideline, and there's a flag down as Samuel Akem got tangled up with Mikhail Wright. The freshman who has played in each of the first 3 games for the Ducks. Very highly recruited prospect out of Southern California.
Very handsy prospect on that particular snap. You get those 5 yards, Mikhail.
There is no foul on the play. Incomplete pass, second down.
Perhaps ruling that the pass was uncatchable there.
That's the only thing I can think of because it was clear there was contact.
Vociferous contact.
Second down.
Aggressive contact.
And Bobby Houck pleading his case. Dalton Sneed, who was recruited to UNLV by Bobby Houck, so he went through the recruiting process again with Houck getting him to Montana, and Mikhail Wright comes back and picks it off. First career interception for Wright, who was physical on the outside with Samuel Akem.
This within the 5-yard window. Watch how handsy he gets at the top of the screen. Right there, receiver works towards the middle, gets his eyes back down towards the football, then drives on it. That's why he was one of the most highly recruited players in the country, adding depth to this Ducks secondary.
Coming into tonight, Oregon was second in the Pac-12 in interceptions. They've just picked off their 5th pass of the season. And they have it at their own 44-yard line where
Number
Justin
82,
Herbert
which jerseys to number 66 for the offense?
is 16 of 21 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. As Oregon, some movement along the offensive line. We saw Jake Hansen go into the locker room early. As Travis Dye, the ball carrier, breaks a tackle out of bounds in Montana territory. Hard-nosed running from the sophomore Dye.
Well,
and a couple Montana players loading it up.
Rocks, they put Calvin Throckmorton in center where he's been before, moved him in from offensive tackle. Brady Aiello at right tackle right now. Throckmorton did a really nice job reaching the nose.
13-yard run for Dye as a couple Montana players getting looked at. Pac-12 football is brought to you by Tuft and Needle. Wake up better. 21-0 Oregon leading Montana early in the 3rd quarter. A couple of Montana players were shaken up. Braden Deming and Jace Lewis both walking off the field under their own power. But having to shuffle the pieces in front of Justin Herbert. Jake Hansen not in there. Calvin Throckmorton has moved to center. And Brady Aiello at right tackle as Travis Dye slashes through the line. And he'll get down near the 35. About 7 yards for Dye. And it seems there's been an emphasis to attack a little bit more aggressively downhill here in the second half. They were stubborn with the run in the first half, but really coming off the block strong here in the second half as Johnny Johnson gets a first down just shy of the Montana 20.
There's potential with the run game that Oregon may have tightened their splits down just a bit. Even if the initial splits aren't tighter, you certainly see them more body to body.
To the outside, Jalen Redd. Nice open field tackle by Justin Calhoun from Montana.
It doesn't appear Montana's been as aggressive in this game so far with the additional blitzing they can bring at times from the secondary.
Second down, 6. In motion goes Jacob Breland. And the give to Dye. And he is wrestled down by Dante Olson. Boy, Dante Olson is everywhere for this Montana defense. Both coaches, obviously Bobby Hauck is going to tout his guy and is proud of the accomplishments, but Mario Cristobal could not have been more complimentary of Dante Olson when we met with him yesterday.
He was a guy who was a special teams dynamo earlier in his career, and then when Bobby Hauck and this staff came in, he said, wow, why hasn't this guy on the field more on defense? He hasn't looked back since.
And Mario Cristobal coming way out to the numbers, didn't like what he saw to get the timeout.
First charge timeout of the half.
3rd and 2 upcoming at the Montana 14. And just to finish the thought of what Mario said in regards to Olson, and both he and Bobby Hauck are in agreement, Dante Olson will be playing on Sundays next year.
I've gotten multiple texts from folks in the National Football League curious about Dante Olson. You know, there's an opportunity to watch him on national television and what he brings to the table. Got plenty of the requisite size you'd hope for at 6'3", 240 pounds, over 150 tackles last season as an inside backer. Up for the Buck Buchanan Award. Potentially the best defensive player in the country at the FCS level.
And earlier this week, nominated for the Good Works Award as well, which is something he's really proud of. Rolling out on 3rd down, some miscommunication. Herbert dumps it off. Jacob Breland. 1st and goal, Oregon. Looked like Herbert was going to hand it off, but nobody was there.
Well, this is one of Marcus Arroyo's favorite plays. Once you get inside the 30, inside the 25-ish area of the field, because it looks very awkward for the secondary, it's actually legitimately a play call within their offense where he shows the ball after the running back has already left the backfield.
Darian Felix in motion, gets the handoff, turns it upfield, and he's down inside the 1.
It's not a bad finish right there. Darian Felix, just under 200 pounds in weight, known more for his speed, couldn't quite get it across the paint there.
2nd and goal. They throw it. Easy touchdown to Johnny Johnson. His 2nd score tonight. 4 touchdown passes for Justin Herbert.
They emphasize blocking at the receiver position. Check Delgado right there. Josh Delgado making it easy work. You got him outnumbered. Just flips it outside from Herbert to Johnson, and Delgado does the heavy work.
Ducks go 8 plays, 56 yards. 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Camden Lewis for the extra point. And with just over 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, 28-0 Oregon, 4 scores for Herbert.
Teammates doing the job for each other. Give Delgado a Twitter account at PLHP, #leverage.
Obviously with the game, we talked a little basketball, and now it is time to talk with some baseball. Mark Wazakowski, you were an Oregon assistant for a long time. You left to go become the head coach at Purdue. So what drew you back here to Oregon?
The whole environment, the people. What can you say about Oregon? It's the best.
Looking at the postseason, you've been a part of it as a player and a coach. So what is it going to take to build this program to get them back into that postseason tournament?
It's a great question. Small goals, just literally winning every single day we can with our work ethic and developing what we need to in terms of a championship culture.
What's your next step now? I know you've been on here for, it was June, I believe, that you were hired. So what's the next step now as you try and build that program?
Well, recruiting and then getting in with our team in terms of the first day of practice and just building from whatever we can as far as starting point. So we're just excited to recruit, be here. My staff's excited. Should be a great time for Oregon baseball.
We're excited to have you back. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jill.
Roxy?
Coach Waz did a really good job at Purdue before coming back here and now takes over. George Horton did an outstanding job of building this program. It was built from scratch, literally. And the stadium now, PK Park, just off of the distance, Pat Kilkenny Park here in Eugene.
I hope they end up adding another full-time paid assistant to collegiate baseball.
You are not alone. From the 25, Dalton Sneed stepping up, And he's brought down by Gary Baker. Wasn't much running room as it collapsed quickly. So Baker getting in there, the senior from Upland, California. Second down and 9, officially a 1-yard gain for Snead. Last year in a game against Sac State set the quarterback rushing record for yards in a game for Montana. He ran for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns in a win against the Hornets. Snead forced out of the pocket, pumps, spins, and he just chucks it away going down. Mace Funa was tracking him down, and he just got rid of it. Now, if it got back to the line of scrimmage, you can do that, and it's not grounding.
Mace Funa started to get a little nosy. Watch him. He's going to work back upfield a bit. And it's out. There's Snead. Let me go get this guy. And at over 260 pounds, still the burst to be able to run down an athletic quarterback.
He was outside the pocket, outside the tackles, and he got it back past the line of scrimmage, therefore no grounding. Third down and 9. Snead into the flat. Marcus Knight dropped. Javon Holland out there for Oregon. And a 3 and out, and the punting unit heads out for the Grizz.
So all those Oregon jerseys around the football at the finish of the play. And continued hot pursuit.
Adam Wilson will punt. The former rugby player at Arizona joined the team as a walk-on last fall.
No fake yet from Bobby Hauck tonight.
This is probably not the area where you're going to see it either. That is a wobbly short punt that sails out of bounds off the foot of Wilson. Oregon football. The Ducks up 28-0. Middle of the third at Autzen. Time for our 76 fueled moments.
This one is fueled by Justin Herbert and Johnny Johnson. You're going to see initially that some chaos is created in the backfield by Alex Gubner. Herbert locks in on Johnny Johnson, throws an absolute dart to Johnson towards the front pylon. Able to maintain a passing temperament while he's on the move, squares those shoulders, fires it. And in the end zone, Johnson lays out to make a great grab. Pass might have been just slightly better than the catch.
From the Oregon 46, Travis Dye to the outside. Dye down the sideline, he's run out. A quick dart from Travis Dye into Montana territory. 23 more for Travis Dye.
He's kind of fast.
Kind of. At the Grizz 31. Herbert throwing. Johnny Johnson the catch. Cuts it back. And he's spun down. Darian Nash, a nice open field tackle. 7th grab for Johnson, as Herbert has completed his last 7 passes now. $60 yards on that one. Empty backfield, so 5 receivers on 2nd and 4.
I don't think we'll see QB draw, but certainly running lanes may open here for Herbert.
Good protection for the end zone. Johnson, incomplete. Looking for the hat trick. Number 3 was looking for touchdown number 3.
If nothing else, self-preservation on this ball that was going right towards his face mask. Fortunately, his helmet was secure enough where the ball didn't do him any damage.
Josh Sandry, the senior from Big Fork, Montana, in cover.
Yeah, and his hand is sore with good reason.
3rd down. Herbert, the dump off, and it's through the hands incomplete of Dye. He picked it up, and he's running with it.
I agree. That's a forward pass, though, I think.
Yeah, I thought that And just to be safe, Travis Dye made sure.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass.
And just to remember, it being behind the line of scrimmage doesn't matter. It's just about whether or not the ball traveled forward from the initial spot of the delivery.
4th and 4, and Oregon leaving the offense on the field. Leading at 28-0, 6:14 to go here in the third. Oregon is 1 for 2 tonight on 4th downs, and they'll go with an empty backfield.
Wonder if Kent Baer will force the issue on Herbert. Perhaps bring Dante Olson. He does.
Here it comes. Herbert trying to escape. Keeps the play alive. Downfield, incomplete. Tried to get it to Hunter Campmoyer. Crowd wanted a flag. Nash Fouch, the redshirt freshman, in coverage for Montana, and it's a turnover on downs.
Around a follow stunt with both backers coming through the B gap. It was Lewis first, then Olson kept it coming. Herbert Ed would get away from him. The crowd was anticipating the potential for a flag there as Hunter Campmoyer was entangled with Nash Fouch.
He did his best to sell it.
Yeah. Quality attempt at the sell of the flag. Not anything beyond that.
The effort was there.
Yeah, I respect that.
Montana football at the 25. Just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dalton Sneed. And it's caught. Jerry Louis McGee with a catch, his second grab tonight. So that ties him for the all-time receptions record in Montana. 192 catches, now even with Raul Pacheco. Mr. Electricity, Jerry Louis McGee. On second down, Sneed looking, and great open field tackle by Brady Breeze. Marcus Knight, the catch, and went nowhere.
They got a nice rotation at safety here. Brady Breeze, you see him constantly coming up over and over again with physical tacklers.
Third and 5 for the Grizz. Marcus Knight, the running back. Samori Toure in motion. Sneed, open. And there it is, the record. Jerry Louis McGee is now the all-time receptions leader in Montana history with a third down conversion and big play to the Oregon 40.
Congratulations here to JLM. Some patience on this route. As Samori Toure sort of sucked the defense down with him on the flat route. And JLM came open outside.
30 yards to Louis McGee. Dalton Sneed checking with the sideline. Play clock winding down. And they run it with Nick Oskmo. And there's nothing there. Ware Hudson, the first man there for Oregon.
Bryson Young, the normal starting stud throughout this season, that sort of outside linebacker defensive end position in the Andy Avalos defense, he's been out. So Mace Funa and Kayvon Thibodeau have been rotating there to the boundary side.
Second down 10 at the Oregon 40. And the slant, it's complete. Samori Toure down to the Oregon 24, a gain of 16.
Best drive of the night for Montana. They're quickly over the ball. We'll see how quickly they actually snap it, though. They've had some opportunity to catch Oregon's defense off guard. There again, because they go with the check with me tempo, now Oregon's defense can get themselves set.
Sneed to throw on first down. Lofts it down the sideline. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Samuel Akem. Mikhail Wright, who had an interception earlier here in the third quarter, in coverage.
He was confident there on the outside. They call him the silent killer. Compare him to Kawhi Leonard in that manner.
Yeah, but it looks like he's jawing pretty good down there.
Well, most of what I'm seeing is the defensive communication. There's plenty of echoing of the calls, audibilizing in the secondary.
Screen set up. Jerry Louis McGee cuts it back. In the red zone for the first time tonight, the Grizz. A pickup of 13.
Very elusive playmaker is Louis McGee. We haven't seen them utilize Marcus Knight as much as a receiver out of the backfield. He's got the skill to do that. We saw in week 1 Oregon's linebackers blow a couple of coverages on running backs.
1st and 10 for Montana. Knocking on the door here. Dalton Snead moving up. And he goes down. Pocket collapsing on the Montana quarterback. Drayton Carlberg, the senior from Minneapolis. One of 12 graduates on this Oregon roster with the sack.
This time when they went zone on the outside, good coverage on the back end. Nothing open there, so Dalton Snead just has to eat the football.
Montana can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. The outside, Jerry Louis McGee. Spun down, Verone McKinley with help from Hockey Woods. And it's 3rd down.
It's an example there where you don't quite get the ball over the proper shoulder from an accuracy standpoint. So because Louis McGee has to turn around the back shoulder, he's got no momentum where he can continue to run. From there, the defense has the opportunity to rally.
4 catches on this drive for Jerry Louis McGee. 3rd and 14. The pitch, and it goes to Marcus Knight down the sideline. Little hook and ladder there.
That's probably the first semblance of an exotic play. Well executed. Knight immediately puts himself in option position to take the pitch from Louis McGee.
Now late in the third quarter, 4th down, and the field goal unit heads out, and Brandon Purdy for Montana, as the Grizz are staring at a 4th and about 6. This will be a 24-yard try. Mitch Roberts is the holder.
Multiple times Roberts had fakes last week.
It is good, and Montana's on the board. 24-yarder for Brandon Purdy, and a 28-3 lead for the Ducks. 18 seconds left. Third quarter, the Grizz come up with some points.
I was wondering where all the points are in the Arizona-Texas Tech game. We found some. That's McLean Mannix with the 8-yard touchdown catch coming from Alan Bowman. And right now, a missed extra point by Arizona earlier, the difference in the game in the third quarter. Roxy, Anthony, back to you guys.
All right, Mark, Montana coming up with some points here. And a short field goal from Brandon Purdy. And it's 28-3 Ducks. Adam Wilson will kick off as Travis Dye back to return. And again, Oregon scored 77 points against the Nevada Wolfpack last week as Dye scoops it up. And good coverage downfield from Montana. And hustling down for the Grizz was Tyler Flink, as here is the night for Justin Herbert. And he's been productive, pretty efficient. But last week it was 77. This week they've only got 28 to this point.
Well, the explosive nature of the plays has been denied a bit by the Montana defense. Safeties have stayed deep, come up and rallied to the football really effectively. as Herbert's completed many of his passes, especially on the outside of receiver, they've been able to take away many deep pass opportunities.
From the Oregon 15, Travis Dye cuts it back across the 20, and he's brought down to the play by Ryder Rice. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter at Autzen Stadium. Oregon 28, Montana 3 as the Ducks trying to close this one out, looking to go to 2-1 with Pac-12 play coming up next week for Oregon.
Kick your heels up. The South.
Y'all better put the camera on me. That's my favorite part of the game. Third quarter going to the fourth.
He's ready.
When the shout comes on, you're going to see Troy dancing. Winning, losing, tied, it doesn't matter. I'm getting up and I'm dancing. It plays on the big board, and I'm like, man, they need to make a new video and put me in there.
A little bit more reserved tonight from Troy Dye.
A little bit softer.
A little bit
softer than last
now.
week.
Yeah. Although he's starting to get it revved up again. And last week, Troy was all over the place. This week, a little bit more confined to the sideline. But he's still having a good time. That's very clear.
Crowd's digging it either way.
Starting the fourth quarter with Anthony Herron and Jill Savage. Our Pac-12 Network crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. Let's send it down to Jill.
Talked to Troy Dye this week about that crazy outburst that he had last week during Shout. He said, I wanted to show everybody how thankful and appreciative I was that they stuck around. I wanted to put on a show for them, to give them something they could go home and tell their friends about and really thank them for all they've done for me here at this university.
Juggle, Johnny Johnson catching a dangerous pass and converts it for a first down, brought down by Robbie Hauk. Needs a little rest now.
Got some O2 on the sideline there.
A little water. Pretty little heavy over there.
Yeah.
It's a good workout.
I certainly would be if I was him.
Daywood Davis on the wide receiver screen. Skips forward for a couple. Tripped up by Dante Olson. Second down upcoming. Pump. Herbert lofts it. And it's incomplete. And there's a flag down in the area. Pass for Johnson. Defended by Darian Nash on the play.
There's certainly been hand fighting both ways. I've respected the corner position from each team. Haven't necessarily had an issue being handsy with the receivers.
Well, that's interference for 7 of the defense. This is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You did see the shoulder pad come out from underneath the jersey there. So pretty good indication that something happened. Comes out to the Oregon 47-yard line. You think Troy Dye's ever seen Animal House?
Good question. I would imagine by now he has. Maybe when he first got here, perhaps no.
Justin Herbert. And tumbling with the catch, Jacob Breland into Montana territory, a yard shy of the first down. Really active nice night for Breland.
A nice block in the backfield from Travis Dye. Just cut down the oncoming rusher. They gave Herbert the time.
5 catches for Breland, including 2 touchdowns. Here is Dye. Finds a lane, and he runs for a first down and takes a shot heading toward the Montana sideline from Hauk. Gives him a nice pat on the helmet.
Travis Dye's been leading the way for the ground attack tonight. By far their leader in carries in the game. It's nice when you have this depth at running back. C.J. Verdell hasn't needed to carry much of a load tonight.
Screen for Darian Felix. Darian Felix inside the 15. Josh Sandry on the tackle.
What they do in making you chase laterally sets up everything they do vertically with this Oregon offense.
19 more for the Ducks. First and goal. Josh Delgado makes the catch that goes down. No gain.
He's had some great blocks tonight. Let's pluck that ball out of the air and start running.
Second and goal for the 10. Herbert tonight in the red zone is 5 of 6. Rather 6 for 6 for 49 yards. And a couple of touchdowns. And lunging forward, did he get in? Yes, Jalen Red. Touchdown Oregon. Montana's trying to say it was a fumble, but it appeared Red extended over the goal line and in for the Oregon score.
As soon as the football breaks the plane, doesn't matter if it comes out after that.
5 touchdown passes for Justin Herbert tonight. And the first this season to Jalen Red.
That was what they were looking for a moment ago out of Josh Delgado. Catch that football and go to work.
So Herbert now 7 for 7 in the red zone tonight. 27 of 35 overall for 270 and 5 scores. They're taking another look at this before the extra point.
The ruling of a touchdown is under review.
I don't see anything there that would change the call, at least for me. Yeah.
No, he appears to be well across the stripe with possession of the football.
So the ruling on the field is touchdown to Jalen Red, a 10-yard TD pass. That gives Herbert 5 tonight. He had 5 last week against Nevada, but keep an eye on the knees of Red as he extends the ball.
The left knee was the one that came down first. It'll be a matter of the officials trying to figure out where the ball was when that left knee touches down. They could piece together all these different angles.
A knee there. Where was the football when the knee hit?
The fact that the call on the field was a touchdown means you'll need something indisputable with the video evidence they're compiling to take that touchdown off the board. And I'm not seeing anything from any of those angles to indicate to me the touchdown should come off the board.
After review, ruling of a touchdown stands.
The touchdown stands. 5 confirmed now for Herbert. That ruling stands, but I can confirm there's 5 touchdown passes for Justin Herbert tonight. Camden Lewis for the extra point. Ducks go 85 yards in 8 plays. And Camden Lewis makes it 35-3 Oregon early in the 4th.
This is Pac-12 football.
Luton's got a guy wide open, and guess who? Call him champ.
Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Utah.
Garber's looking for Remigio, and has got him this time. Nico spins. Touchdown, Bears.
High snap. Benjamin reaching for it. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arizona State. He hooked it. Arizona State wins it.
What a huge win for Herm Edwards and Arizona State in East Lansing. As the Sun Devils now 5-1 in games decided by 3 points or less under Herm Edwards. The big day up the road in Corvallis for Jake Luton. Tyler Huntley continues to cruise along. And how about Anthony Gordon?
Yeah.
Going on the road to Houston. That was a nice win for Washington State last night.
The Hal Mummy Bowl.
Yeah.
Hogerson, Leach.
And he was on the sideline wearing a Nevada golf shirt and an SMU visor. His son, Matt Mummy, who we saw last week here with the Wolfpack, is Nevada's offensive coordinator. And, of course, Hal Mummy very close with former Cal coach Sonny Dykes, who runs the air raid now at SMU. Camden Lewis will kick it off. And on the return, Malik Flowers from the 5. Flowers across the 25, and he's hauled down by Hockey Woods. As we send it back to the studio, what's the good word, Mark Willard?
Well, Roxy, your Opus Bank update from Tucson. The good word for Arizona is that Gary Brightwell's only got 22 yards in the game, but this is the most important one of those yards. He dives in, puts Arizona back in front. They're early in the fourth, and Arizona up by 6, 20-14. Let's get it back to you guys.
Pivotal game for Kevin Sumlin. Now in year 2, the helm of the Arizona Wildcats. They're hosting Texas Tech. Here a 35-3 comfortable lead for Oregon, and taking on a feisty Montana team here tonight. And before the play
clock for 25 seconds.
And Herbert becomes the first quarterback in Oregon history. Getting congratulations there on the sidelines. I'm sure they're well aware of the record. 5 touchdown passes in back-to-back games for Herbert, 5 against the Wolfpack, and 5 against the Grizz tonight as Marcus Knight, the ball carrier.
Well, Justin Herbert keeps this up. He's got, 74 career touchdown passes now. Marcus Mariota is out over 100. I mean, if he throws 5 touchdown passes the rest of the season, he'll crush Mariota's
every game?
record. Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
That wouldn't be half bad.
On second down, the pitch to Marcus Knight. Trying to get to the edge and strung out. Good pursuit. Lamar Winston Jr., Mikhail Wright stringing out the play. Bring up third down. Last time, Grizz, we mentioned this earlier, the last time Montana beat an FCS team, or FBS team, I should say. It was Idaho in 2003. They were in the Sun Belt at the time. Last time they beat a team that's currently an FBS team, Oregon State in 1996. They won 35-14 in Corvallis. They're trailing at 35-3 here early in the fourth. Empty backfield for Dalton Snead on third down. Stepping up, Snead will run. Snead, and he's rustled down by Kayvon Thibodeau. And it's fourth down. And talking to the coaches this week, both Mario Cristobal and Eddie Avalos, the defensive coordinator, were saying, without question, Thibodeau had his best week of practice this week.
That's a really impressive tackle, by the way, for a guy who's normally accustomed to just being an edge defender, defensive end, outside linebacker type. There he dropped into coverage and came one-on-one in open space with an athletic quarterback and made a very secure tackle. Just shows you the athleticism that Thibodeau possesses.
Just the basic things Andy was telling us. His eye discipline, his stance lining up for plays. Just everything seemed on point from him and really progressed this week. 35-3, Oregon. Johnny Johnson, the third, having a big night. 12 football is presented by Opus Bank, where business meets opportunity. Taco Bell's $5 triple-double crunch wrap box. And by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Just a spectacular night in Eugene. It was 70 degrees at kickoff. And Oregon rolling 35-3, the 15th-ranked Ducks up on Montana. Justin Herbert, play action, throws, and it's caught. And Dawood Davis weaving his way out near the 40-yard line. $19 more for Herbert.
Davis had moved over to defensive back. All the injuries Oregon's had at wide receiver. Let's come back to the offensive side.
Travis Dye was briefly over 100 yards. He is now under 100 after losing 5 on the play. He was at 101. He's now at 96 is Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator and the mastermind working in tandem with Justin Herbert. Former quarterback himself at San Jose State. Herbert on second down. Good protection over the middle. And a sliding grab by Spencer Webb and the redshirt freshman into Montana territory.
Webb had that amazing grab in the opening game against Auburn. Hasn't really had as much of a receiving imprint the last couple of games.
Travis Dye hit behind the line, loses a couple. Marcus Wellno into the backfield for the tackle for loss for Montana. And here's what they're dealing with as far as the injuries to the receiver corps.
So Micah Pittman, they're expecting big things from, hoping he'll return, but it'll be about a month. Same with Brendan Schooler, who's maybe the most experienced receiver, certainly as it relates to working with Justin Herbert.
Cam McCormick, Juwan Johnson, the closest to coming back. Maybe next week. Is Mario Cristobal optimistic they could get them back for Stanford as Ryan Bay with the catch, and he's pushed out of bounds by Gavin Robertson.
So it's impressive the work that the receivers have put in. If you take a look at Schooler, that, as we referenced earlier, the drops have vastly decreased through this point in the season versus what they were experiencing last year. In the playmaking, especially last week and now this week, the confidence of this group overall has certainly grown.
Bay goes in motion on third down as Herbert over 300 yards. And unable to track it down was Travis Dye out in the flat. And it's fourth down. Fourth down and 3 for Oregon at the Montana 41. Just over 8 minutes to play. The offense stays out there for Mario Cristobal as Herbert now 30 of 39, 316 yards, 5 touchdown passes. On fourth down, Herbert adjusting and Josh Delgado trying to come back for it. And he was matched up with Justin Calhoun and a turnover on downs. Oregon now just 1 for 4 going for it on fourth down tonight.
Herbert went for the back shoulder throw. Delgado not quite able to adjust to it enough as it was really low and away.
Montana gets the football at their own 41. The Oregon defense, the last 90 minutes of game time, you go back to the Nevada game, they've given up just 3 points in 90 minutes. And was that field goal here earlier in the second half from Brandon Purdy as Cameron Humphrey takes over at quarterback. A junior, a JC transfer from Saddleback Junior College. And the Ithaca, Washington native. And the pass juggled and jockeying for it with Thibodeau was Marcus Knight, and it's incomplete. The ball was batted around out there down the sideline.
Ball stayed in flight for quite a while there.
Off the shoulder pad. You know, back in the old days with a stick on the shoulder pad, it may have just stuck to Marcus Knight. Humphrey 2 for 3 now in the young season for 27 yards. He's thrown a touchdown. He spent his freshman season in redshirted at Boise State. Then went to Saddleback Junior College in Southern California. He was an all-state performer at the JC level. And on second down and incomplete is stumbling was Samuel Account. And coverage from Mikhail Wright, and it's third down. So Humphrey has spent his freshman year in redshirt at Boise, then went to the junior college for a year, played last year in 6 games for Montana. 3rd and 10 for Cameron Humphrey. Dalton Snead tonight was 20 of 30 for 184 yards and an interception. And a penalty marker is down. Too much time for Montana.
Delay game. Offense. There's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Next up for the Grizz, they'll jump back into FCS competition. And Montana will host Monmouth next week in Missoula. And Pac-12 play for the Ducks next week. They'll head down to the farm and get a Stanford team that's licking their wounds right now. After a couple of tough losses, winning their opener against Northwestern, but then losing at SC last week and having a rough time in Orlando against UCF today. Third down, 15. Humphrey in the pocket, throws, and a nice pass and catch to Samuel Akem into Oregon territory, and a first down for the Grizz.
Akem's a really impressive receiver. There's a physicality to the way he runs his routes, really strong hands, constantly willing to make grabs in traffic.
6 catches tonight for Akem. 85 yards receiving for the junior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. At the Ducks 43. Cameron Humphrey to the outside. Deflected by Wright, and it's incomplete as Steve Stevens coming over. Try to get his hands on it.
Really tight coverage there, as has been the case throughout the night. Mikhail Wright.
Second down, 10. 7:10 remaining here at Autzen. Humphrey, and it's incomplete over the head of Jerry Louis McGee. 3rd and 10 for Montana.
I don't anticipate a reason for Andy Avalos to bring a blitz here, but the down 4 linemen, these are backups in the game for the most part for Oregon at this point, but to continue to show their wares as pass rushers.
3rd down and 10. Humphrey, and it's broken up, incomplete. Trying to get that one. As DJ James, the true freshman, breaks up the pass. There is Andy Avalos, the new defensive coordinator here for the Oregon Ducks, coming over from his alma mater, Boise State.
I was really intrigued in talking to Avalos just about the approach he took in coming in, learning the players as quickly as he could, who fits in what positions within the scheme as he hopes to run it here with the Oregon Ducks. As much as anything, learning them as people, as persons, how you have to coach each individual.
Adam Wilson, the punt. And Josh Delgado calling for a fair catch. Oregon ball inside 7 minutes to play, up 35-3.
There's something about coming to Autzen Stadium, big-time Pac-12 game.
A fumble recovered by Stanford. And we will have overtime in Autzen. Looks for the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Parkinson. Herbert, plenty of time, throws across the middle, intercepted, and Stanford stages a stunning comeback victory at Autzen Stadium.
Next week on the docket for the Oregon Ducks, the Stanford Cardinal to open conference play for Oregon. Stanford has played one Pac-12 game, losing at USC last weekend as the bubble screen too high for Darian Felix, incomplete. Now 6:50 remaining and Oregon up 35-3. Interesting that the Ducks still have Justin Herbert in the game.
And earlier today, UCF defeated Stanford 45-27. Cardinal finally got a bit of offense going later in the game as KJ Costello threw for just under 200 yards.
Second down, Travis Dye skipping out near the 20. Robbie Hauk, Josh Sandry in on the tackle. Also Michael McGinnis for the Grizz. Brings up third down for Oregon. The Ducks, they'll get Stanford at Stanford Stadium, and that'll be an interesting matchup It's again, Stanford coming off 2 losses that you don't see that very often to a David Shaw team, what has happened the last 2 weeks. As Herbert hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Good pressure forcing the incompletion. It's 4th down.
They had essentially max protection in there. Didn't prove to be enough. The deflection that happened at the line, and referencing next week. I mean, it'll be the first true road game of the season. Of course, the season opener against Auburn was a neutral site game. Oregon fans showed up in droves.
Blake Mamone will punt. A couple guys late getting out onto the field for Oregon here with 6:15 to go. So KJ Costello and that Stanford offense will try to regroup, but defensively Stanford having some issues. As a punt, and no flag is down even though Mamone is, and maybe Montana got a piece of it. And people are looking around and Montana football, but first we check in with Mark Willard.
Okay, guys, a little deja vu on the Gatorade update. As I was just telling you about a Gary Brightwell 1-yard touchdown, here's another one. And Arizona is extending in Tucson. 2-point conversion is good as well. They lead by 2 touchdowns in the late going. Roxy, back to you.
All right, Mark, that'll be a big one for Arizona if they can win that one. And what a day for the state of Arizona if the Wildcats are able to finish that one off. And what Arizona State did earlier today, they're 3-0 going back to Michigan State and winning today.
And it's big for Marcel Yates and the Arizona defense to come up and start to make some big stops in a game as they've been able to do against Texas Tech today. Folks have been expecting the defense of Arizona would make more strides than they appear to have made up to this point in the season.
Cameron Humphrey continues the quarterback, pass to the outside to Samori Toure. And he's brought down shy of midfield by Diamador Lenore.
To reference Arizona State, that game in East Lansing, I mean, everyone in Big Ten country has been talking about that game having a revenge feel to it for Michigan State. And the Sun Devils and Herm Edwards, they went in there, took a very methodical approach to it. They were able to outlast them making plays at the end.
2nd down, Humphrey. And the pass complete to Gabe Sulcer. And that will move the sticks and a 1st down for Montana inside Oregon territory.
There's some teams in this conference playing big-time defense. We were talking about Andy Avalos a bit earlier. He's amongst the newest defensive coordinators here, but Danny Gonzalez, what Arizona State was able to do today. Tim DeRuiter, what Cal's been doing throughout this season so far. Of course, Jimmy Lake in Washington. You know how great their defense has been in recent years between himself and Pete Kwiatkowski.
Morgan Scalley at Utah.
Yeah.
From the Ducks 46. Inside 5 minutes now is Humphrey. Throws on the move and he throws it away. Bryson Deming was in the area. There was nobody open downfield for the Grizz. 2nd down.
Lost a bit of pocket integrity on that one. Because you don't necessarily want to come off the ball and immediately bull rush into the tackle or the tight end. You really want to get them upfield to extend the pocket, the depth of it a bit more, turn speed into power. That condenses and collapses the pocket in a better way.
2nd down 10. Humphrey hangs in the pocket. And it's incomplete over the head of Toure. And it's 3rd down and 10 for Montana.
The quality reps, specifically and especially for Kayvon Thibodeau and DJ Johnson, a couple of guys playing off the edge who've shown some acumen for doing it at a high level here early in this season. They're going to both play vital roles. See what they can do here on 3rd and long.
Humphrey fires over the middle. It's caught and a 1st down. Mitch Roberts the catch down to the Oregon 30-yard line. And a sophomore from Missoula, 16 yards. A nice pass and catch to get a 1st down for Montana. And Mitch Roberts, an athletic family. His mom, a hoop standout for the Lady Grizz back in the early 80s. His brother Ben was a baseball player at Washington State and was a grad transfer, played his last year athletically at Missoula and played football, was briefly on the Titans roster in the NFL. Cam Humphrey, pass incomplete over the head of Akem. Mikhail Wright getting a lot of run tonight. We haven't seen Thomas Graham since he was injured late in the first half.
And that could end up being a really big deal, because after you get past what we've seen from Thomas Graham and the Amador Lenore, Ducks are very young and unproven at the corner position.
And the other concern is Jake Hansen went down tonight late in the first half as well, and we have not seen him since he left the ball game. Second down, 10. Got a 2s and 3s in for the Oregon defense right now, and Cameron Humphrey's pass incomplete for Samuel Akem, broken up by Mikhail Wright. Also Nate Hiakalani out there for Oregon to bring up third down. Third down and 10. Montana ranked number 20, the FCS. After a 2-0 start, but moving up in class here tonight, taking on the Oregon Ducks as they swarm Cameron Humphrey. Sione Kava in the backfield with MJ Cunningham. A senior from Honolulu, Kava, and the redshirt freshman from Portland, Cunningham, combined for the sack, and it's fourth down.
It just came through unblocked. Andrew Faliu is the nose. Went one direction, took the center with him. No one else in the Grizz protection. Decided they were going to pick up the oncoming backer.
Adam Wilson out on the field one more time. It's been a busy man tonight. Josh Delgado, the returner for Oregon, standing inside the Ducks 10. Delgado, and Oregon gets away from it, takes a Ducks bounce as Montana downs it near the 11-yard line as we send it down to Jill.
Roxy, as you drive around Eugene, you can't help but notice the renovations going on over at Hayward Field. It is going to be the mecca for track and field. There's going to be 12,700 seats. 6,000 of those seats will be covered because it never rains at Autzen Stadium, but it might occasionally over at Hayward Field. But in the basement, they have a practice track under the west stands. They're going to have a field area for events, for warm-ups, and it's going to come in handy in winter. Hydrotherapy, a huge locker room, foosball table, athletes lounge. They got everything that they wanted, according to head coach Robert Johnson. So it's going to be a very nice place here for the University of Oregon over at Hayward Field. And it's going to be the first event there. The 2020 Pac-12 Championships will be on the Pac-12 Network.
All right.
But no longer historic Hayward Field. It's updated and new. Tyler Shuck in at quarterback, the redshirt freshman from Chandler, Arizona. Sean Dollars on that last carry, the freshman from Southern California. So Shuck was really good last week against the Wolfpack.
It's not half bad.
8 of 9 through the air, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. He played in 3 games last year, but was able to take advantage of the rule in redshirt. Played in fewer than 4 games. Sean Dollars. And he is wrapped up by Milton Mamula. As we close the book on Justin Herbert for tonight, 30 of 42. 5 touchdowns, 316 yards passing, his 7th career 300-yard game. And look at his red zone numbers tonight.
To complete every single pass you attempt in the red zone and all 5 of your touchdown passes to come there shows the level of accuracy and efficiency that you look for from a high-level quarterback.
There is an injured Montana player with 2:17 remaining. So what's looking like a tougher ball game now is toward the end of the year going down to Sun Devil Stadium after Herm Edwards' team now 3-0.
Certainly that defense has been spectacular so far this season for Arizona State. A number of underclassmen on the field for them. Remember all the freshmen who were on the field for them last year. Those guys are just sophomores now, so they're not exactly old yet, but they are certainly making plays.
Joe Bobros, the grad transfer from NC State, was the injured player, is racing down the sideline. Sean Dollars hauled down from behind. Michael McGinnis, the touchdown-saving tackle. But Sean Dollars, the freshman, rips off a huge run of 63 yards.
Why he was so exciting and anticipated in recruiting, pressed the hole for a moment, then turned the corner. And he was moving fast too. I don't know that you should be too disappointed about getting chased down from behind by McGinnis.
At the Montana 20. Shuck swings it out to Dollars. And he's tracked down for a loss. Nash Fouch behind the line with the tackle for loss, and surprised that Dollars had anything left in the tank after that long run.
That's where conditioning for a young player comes into play there.
So win tonight, and the Ducks just over a minute away from getting their 25th consecutive home non-conference win. Go to 8-1 here at Autzen under Mario Cristobal. Oregon in no hurry. Darian Felix back in the game at running back. Here is Felix. And he powers his way inside the 20. It's about 5. And Oregon does not need to snap it again if they choose not to. Although they're going right up on the ball.
That's what they do. It's his reflex.
20 seconds left. And Darian Felix just standing there. Look, he's just checking the sideline. Really? We're going to run another play here? Well, this might be the only unsuccessful red zone trip of the night, but Oregon doesn't want it to be. And they run it with Felix. Felix. And he's pushed out of bounds. Time has run out. And Oregon a 35-3 efficient performance tonight with a victory to run their record at 2-1 over Montana.
Well, not as dominant. Certainly not the perfection that Oregon tends to pursue, but certainly a game that they controlled throughout. Plenty of big plays got made by the Ducks. It's a game Montana squad coached really well in the second year with Bobby Hauck returning.
35-3 Oregon wins it. Justin Herbert, back-to-back 5 touchdown games and back-to-back 300-plus performances from the Oregon quarterback. As the Ducks 2-1 will get ready for Stanford next Saturday on the farm. For my partner Anthony Herron, for Jill Savage, our Pac-12 Network crew, Roxy Bernstein saying so long from Autzen Stadium. 35-3 the Ducks win it. Final score coming up next with Mike Yam and Evan Moore.